Most of us have had the experience of being in a heated argument and saying a bunch of stuff that we really wish we hadn't said and need to take back after we've cooled down. This is a pretty common experience. It's one of the most common things that bring couples into couples counseling. And time again, I have my individual therapy clients saying, I need help with communication. We just keep getting into patterns of conflict with my friends or with coworkers, or whatever the relationship might be. Communication is so critical for our own health, our individual health, and then of course the health of all of our relationships, whether it be family, friends, coworkers, etc. There's an amazing book called Nonviolent Communication that I recommend to everyone. It's this amazing way of communicating in a way that isn't going to trigger defensiveness in the other person. And so there's a few steps that you can use to begin to improve your communication skills. It certainly takes practice, but it is absolutely crucial to begin using in your communication with people. And also if you have kids, to teach them this as well. So there's 4 components. There's observation, there's feeling, there's need, and there's request. So if I'm going to start with observation, I might say, hey, when you slammed the door yesterday, okay, so what my observation was, it's what I saw, it's what I heard, it's the data points. When I heard you slam the door, that's the observation. And then I'm going to go into feeling. It made me feel anxious that you were mad at me. And then you go into the need. I really need to feel safe in my home. I really want to feel connected to you. There's sort of like the dream component or the longing component in that need. My underlying need is to feel safe and connected. So that would be the need. And then the request would be, do you mind just closing the doors a little bit quieter so that I don't get triggered into spiraling about what you might be mad at me about? Right. So that's a sort of a silly example, but of using observation, feeling, connecting it to a need or a desire, a positive need or desire, need for connection, need for safety are 2 of the most common ones. And then the 4th being the request. This is not natural to us. Typically, we under-communicate. We under-communicate in a healthy way. We often over-communicate in unhealthy ways, but we tend to let things kind of build up, and then we're mad about them, or there's already been resentment building, and we're off to the races in like the worst sense of in the worst sense of the word. So it definitely takes practice and awareness in calming yourself down and thinking through this, because I could enter the door and say, I'm so angry. You're always late. You don't respect me, right? That would be considered violent communication. It's going to be harmful to you, to the relationship, etc. Or I could say, hey, I've noticed you've been late a few times. It really makes me feel like unloved and like I'm not a priority. I really want to feel I know that you love me. I really want to feel that love from you. Do you mind making an attempt to like show up on time next time? Right? That's a totally different conversation than saying, you're such a jerk, going into the name calling and the blaming and that is going to bring more conflict. So anyway, it's a huge topic. I'm not doing a great service by the way I'm explaining it here. It's a big topic and takes a lot of there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of emotional regulation on your part so that you can communicate in a clear way. There is a great book. Let me reach over here and grab it out for you guys. This might be backwards on your screen, and this is an old copy. I think there might be a new edition. This is the 3rd edition, but Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life by Marshall Rosenberg. Highly recommend. I believe this copy has some tools in the like appendix that I can't pull up right now with one arm, but highly recommend. I just wrote a blog post called How to Improve Your Communication for Men and Women that sort of outlines some of the basics of good communication skills. So check it out.